Hello students, today we are going to start with our next topic, that is biogeochemical cycle of chapter number 7. Previously we have seen 2-3 topics, which was food web, then next was trophic level, and then pyramid of energy. These were the topics which we have covered in last lecture. Now let's start with the next topic, that is biogeochemical cycle. Now biogeochemical cycle, from this topic only you can guess what does this topic consist of. Here I'll tell you the meaning of each word in it. Bio means something related to life, all the living things present on earth, or something related to life that comes under bio. Then geo means something related to earth. So here living thing came, then non-living thing, and then chemical. What do you mean by chemical? Chemical here related to gases or something like that. And last word is cycle. Why it is called a cycle? Because all these three, they continuously goes in a cycle, they flow in a cyclic way, so that's why it is called as biogeochemical cycle. Now in previous lecture I have told you that when we were studying that food chain, the plant get energy from sun and water, and then plant get energy from sun, and then it prepare their own food. So sun gives energy, but it does not get any energy back in return, so that's why it is called as one-way transport. So here, as you can see in the very first line, it is written, though the energy flow in an ecosystem is one way. The energy flow is one way in our ecosystem, which we know why it is called as one way, because sun does not get anything in back, that's why it is called as one way energy flow. But here it is written that the flow of nutrient is cyclic. The flow of nutrient is cyclic. Why it is said that flow of nutrient is cyclic? Because everyone is dependent on each other for the nutrition, for the food which is required for their living and their growth. So that's why it is called as the flow of nutrient is cyclic. This is the concept which is given in this biogeochemical cycle. Now, as you all know, every organism needs nutrients for their growth and for their living. Now, as you can see here, we'll see this from this diagram. What is given this diagram? This diagram consists of three things. Three main important components are shown in this diagram. First is hydrosphere. Hydrosphere means what? Hydrosphere means related to water, our sea, ocean, something related to water that comes under hydrosphere. Then atmosphere is entire our air that comes under atmosphere. Then last one is lithosphere, means our land, our earth, that is called as lithosphere. And these together, hydrosphere, atmosphere and lithosphere, these together they form as biosphere. Now how they interact with each other and how these flow of nutrient goes from one to other, and it keeps on going in a cyclic way. Now if we'll start from lithosphere, on land there are many plants and animals which live. So you know, animals release carbon dioxide, they intake oxygen and they release carbon dioxide. So when they release carbon dioxide, that carbon dioxide get mixed into air, that get mixed into atmosphere, the air. Then that carbon dioxide from the air is again absorbed by the plants. As you all know that plants absorb carbon dioxide, so they use that carbon dioxide for making their own food. Then they prepare their own food. So in this way, this goes on passing from one to other. So it means that they are related. As you know, as we have now seen that carbon dioxide which is released by the animals or humans, that carbon dioxide that get mixed into atmosphere, then again it is used by the plants for preparing their own food. So don't you think that it is a cyclic flow, or it goes on to be in a cycle form. So that's why it is called as biogeochemical cycle. And here the definition of biogeochemical cycle is also written: the cyclic flow of nutrients within an ecosystem is called as biogeochemical cycle. If you relate it with your food chain, then also you can easily get that the energy also goes on passing from one to other, and again back. It is a cyclic flow. The energy also goes on passing from one to other. Now here in the next paragraph, that is only explained which I have explained you now. It is also said that here nutrients necessary for growth of organisms are continuously transferred from abiotic to biotic factors and biotic to abiotic factors. Now what do you mean by abiotic factors? Abiotic factors are the non-living things and biotic factors are the living thing. Now in our ecosystem, what are abiotic things, non-living things that you can take as sun, water, earth? These all are abiotic components, and in biotic components all the plants, animals, these, and also in abiotic components all the gases which also comes under abiotic components. So this nutrient is continuously, it is said that nutrient is continuously getting transferred from abiotic to biotic factors and biotic to abiotic factors. Why it is written over here? As we have already learned that from sun, and with the help of sun, plant prepare their own food. Then means what? Sun is abiotic. Now from abiotic the energy is being transferred to the biotic component, which are plants. Then plants again prepare their own food with the help of soil, with the help of nutrients which are present in soil. Again soil, land is an abiotic factor. Then with the help of these abiotic factor, with the help of water also, they prepare their own food. Then plants are eaten by animals. Then after the death of the animals, all the animals are biotic factors. Then after the death of animals, all their after their decomposition, their compounds get mixed into soil, into abiotic factor, and also they get mixed with the air, water, and again it is used by the plants. So that's why it is said that nutrient goes on continuously from biotic to abiotic and abiotic to biotic factor in our ecosystem. And as you all know, this cycle goes on continuously. It does not stop anywhere. It is a continuous cycle and it goes on continuously through the medium of biosphere. Now just now I have told you what are biosphere. Biosphere are made together by hydrosphere, atmosphere, and lithosphere. All these three things together make up the biosphere. So in this cycle keeps on going continuously. Now next is given here type of biogeochemical cycle. Now what are the type of biogeochemical cycle? There are two types: gaseous cycle and sedimentary cycle. From the name itself you can guess what it will consist of. Gaseous means it will consist something related to gas. Now what is this gaseous cycle? As you can see here, an accumulation of the main abiotic gaseous nutrient material is found in the earth atmosphere. In our air, you all know there are in spite of oxygen, there are many more gases which gases, like as you can see here, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. These are all the things which are present in air. So accumulation of these gases into atmosphere, this is called as gaseous cycle. Then if next we'll see here sedimentary cycle. What do you mean by sedimentary cycle? All the components, like all the soil components like iron, calcium, phosphorus, these all are the components which are present in soil. You might be knowing that. So from the soil, plant absorb all these important components which they need for their growth or for for preparation of their food. So these are the some components which are present in soil. So it comprises of sedimentary cycle. Now as compared to here, it is given that gaseous cycle is really faster, really speedier than the sedimentary cycle. Here one example is also given to explain this, okay, why gaseous cycle is speedier. If in an area CO2 which is carbon dioxide, if carbon dioxide get accumulated in an area, then what happens then? The plants which are present over there, they will quickly absorb all the carbon dioxide. As you know, plants inhale carbon dioxide, and as they will inhale all the carbon dioxide, so the carbon dioxide will quickly be dispersed. So that's why it is said that gaseous cycle is more speedier than the sedimentary cycle. As you know, all the processes with the land, with the soil, it takes quite long time, so that's why it is slower than the gaseous cycle, and gaseous cycle is speedier. And also it is written over here, the equilibrium between these cycles, it can be affected by the climatic changes. If the climate changes, if there is some changes in our atmosphere, then it also affect these cycles. Now next we are going to learn here about the carbon cycle. Now what is carbon cycle? Carbon cycle, it basically means the flow of carbon dioxide, the flow of carbon from living thing to non-living thing, and it goes on continuously in a cyclic form. It keeps on recycling. So that is called as the carbon cycle. As you all know that carbon dioxide is present in our atmosphere. Now from the atmosphere, these carbon dioxide are absorbed by plants. Plants absorb carbon dioxide, then they prepare their own food with the help of sunlight. They prepare their own food, and then these plants are eaten by some animals. Some animals eat those plants, so that carbon compounds are then transferred from plant to the animals. Then those animals are eaten by some carnivorous animals which eat animals. So again that carbon compound is transferred to some other animal. Then from that carnivorous animal, it is the carnivorous animal are eaten by the apex or the top consumers animals, that are lion and tiger, you can say eagle also, that type of top consumer. So so it get transferred to the top consumer. Then after that, from the top consumers, now no one eats the top consumer, as you all know. So after the death of the top consumer, the apex consumer, after the death of them, after decomposition of their dead body, then again that carbon will be transferred to the soil, water, and air, and from there plants will again absorb that carbon dioxide. So in that way, this cycle keeps on going. So that is known as the carbon cycle. In this way, the carbon goes on passing to the living organism. From the atmosphere, it goes to the living organism, and after the death of the living organism, then it again comes back to atmosphere. This is the basic main concept of the carbon cycle. Now here in this diagram, so one process is explained, as I've explained you now. Only plant, what does they do? Plant absorb carbon dioxide which is present in our atmosphere. They absorb our carbon dioxide with the help of sunlight. They prepare their own food. Now after that, what does these plants do? They plant convert these carbon dioxide into carbohydrate by the process of photosynthesis, and in the same way they also produce some of the carbon compounds which are known as protein and fats. Now these carbon dioxide is present in these plants. Now who will eat these plants? these herbivorous animals, they feed on plants, they eat all these plants. Now that carbon which is present in plants is now transferred to these herbivorous animal. Now these herbivorous animal, after the death of these animals, if they are not eaten by some other carnivorous animal, then maybe it happens they might die due to some reason. So after the death of these animals, they become fossil fuel. Now these fossil fuel are used in the factories to run the factories. Now these factories produce lots of carbon dioxide. So these lots of carbon dioxide, when it releases from the factories, it gets mixed into atmosphere. Then from the atmosphere, it is again absorbed by the plants. So in this way, this cycle goes on continuously. Again plants absorb the carbon dioxide, then they'll prepare their own food, then some animal will eat these plants, then after the death of animal, they'll become fossil fuel, then from that will run factories, and then carbon dioxide will be released, then again carbon dioxide will get mixed into atmosphere. So this is the cycle which goes on continuously. So that's why this is called as continuous cycle, and this is the concept of the carbon cycle. Here one chemical process which occurs at the time of carbon cycle is given over here. If we'll take 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 12 molecules of water, that is H2O, in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, plants prepare their own food. Then they produce glucose. This formula C6H12O6, this is nothing but glucose. They produce glucose and 6 molecule of water and 6 molecule of oxygen which is released by them. Then again here, this is glucose. From this glucose, if 6 molecules of oxygen combines, then in the presence of mitochondria, these mitochondria are present in the animal cells. Animal cell contain mitochondria. So with the help of them, what it will form? 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of water, H2O, that is water, and plus energy. So in this way, this carbon cycle process takes place. Hope you understood till here. Then next topic will continue in next lecture. Thank you.